Some of what you are about to see is legend, but no, this is fact. In 1720, the pirate ship Revenge was captured by British forces. The crew was imprisoned, sent to Jamaica, and forced to stand trial for their crimes. There, 2 members of the crew were forced to tell the story of their lives before the court. These are the stories they told. Hello, my name is Rob McIntyre. I am the writer and the director of Pirate Queens, The True Story of Anne and Mary.
I'm Rachel Dillinger. I'm bringing to life the character of Anne Bonny, real-life pirate queen from the golden age of pirates.
One of the reasons I wanted to write this show was that when I learned who Anne Bonny and Mary Read were, and I researched their lives, I researched their history, I researched what they did, where they went, and the ends they came to, I felt that there was a lot of confusion. There is a lot of misconception about who they were.
Anne Bonny was a fierce fighter. She could sword fight like a man, she could fist fight like a man, and she could stab you. She was tough.
I don't feel they get a fair shake in the history books, and there is a lot of conflicting data about them right now. So I did a lot of research, and I went to various sources. I went to the library, I found books on piracy, I found copies of books that were actually written at the time that these 2 were put on trial, because that's the only reason we know anything about their lives, is that they were forced to tell their story while they were on trial for their crimes of piracy. And I wanted to put together a better idea of who the 2 of them were, because I do feel that their story is a tragic story, and it's something that we can all learn from.
One of the reasons I'm very interested in playing Anne Bonny is because I feel that this is a story that a lot of women will be able to relate to, and it's a story that needs to be told. Anne Bonny was able to make a life for herself in a way that most women wouldn't have even been able to conceive of, 50 years ago, much less 300 years ago.
Through no fault of their own, these 2 women were thrown into this terrible situation. And it's just about their growth, how they handled it, how they grew into these lives that they were forced into. And I really feel that it's just as prevalent now, the message that is in society today, as it was at the time that this happened to them.
Her father wanted her to marry well, and instead she married a pirate because she saw piracy as her way out. And in order to succeed as a pirate, she learned how to fight better than the men, she made her own money, and she eventually hooked up with a pirate by the name of Calico Jack, who let her be an officer on his pirate ship, and she became known as one of the most fearsome fighters in the pirate world. Against other male pirates, she had to fight harder than the guys. She had to work harder than the guys. She had to fight for everything she ever got. And she succeeded at that. She had to start out masquerading as a man, and eventually she announced to Jack and everyone that she would not hide herself. She was a woman, she was proud of being a woman, and she wanted him to let her be a woman on his pirate ship, and he did.
We've already previewed the show in a way. We had a seated reading where audience members were invited to come listen to the actors read from the script. That was pretty exciting. It was the first time the script had been presented to the public in any shape or form. And the feedback that we got from that was very positive, very exciting. The message of the story to me of Anne and Mary is that bad things, horrible things can happen to people through no fault of their own. Anybody, no matter what their intentions are, can find themselves in these horrible situations. And this story is really how they deal with it, how they adapt, and how they grow into this new life that has been thrust upon them. And I feel that is definitely a message that resonates now in our world just as much as it did then.
And in no small part do I want to do this role because I get to sword fight on stage.
We do have a fantastic group of volunteers that have come together to work on this. We have artists, we have musicians, we have a composer. I have various actors that have already signed on to play roles in the show. There is a lot of excitement built up around this, but we need more. We do need your money.
One of the things we want to do this show justice is rent the right space for it, and space costs money.
The biggest expenditure we're going to have is space. We need to rent the space if theaters do not come for free.
We think we've got a lot of our costumes put together, but we need more swords.
We need props. We need costumes.
We want to really do the costumes justice. When the audience comes to see this show, we want to make sure they are taken back to the golden age of piracy.
We need money for marketing purposes.
We have got wonderful volunteer artists to put together cover artwork for us, for our posters and all of our promotional marketing material, and we've got composers who are volunteering to compose an original score and original soundtrack for this show, and the artist is going to do the cover work for the music, and we'd like to sell those.
There is so much that we need money for to do this, that we are so close, and it would be a shame if we can't put this show on just because we come up short financially.
So mainly we're looking for funds to cover costumes, props, renting the space, and some advertising. And I think we've got everything else covered.